Recently, Disney mentioned that construction on a brand new Disney Vacation Club, or DVC for short, member lounge would begin in 2024. As a DVC member, this is fantastic news. I love both of the DVC lounges and can't wait to hear where this new one will be. You've certainly heard of DVC before, but do you know what it actually is and where it came from? I bet you don't. This video is brought to you by the Magic Candle Company. I'm a huge fan of Disney park smells, but what happens when I'm at home and not at the parks? Can I still smell those smells? Yes! Magic Candle Company brings you the best smells from around the world to your home. From riding a banshee to a Hawaiian lobby, Magic Candle Company has you covered with small and large candles, fragrance oils, wax melts, and more. So head down and hit my link in the description and be sure to use code BIGBEAUTIFULDIZ15 for 15% off your entire order. I've been burning their candles and using their fragrance oils for many years, and I can tell you they are fantastic. Again, head to the link in the description and be sure to use BIGBEAUTIFULDIZ15 for 15% off your entire order. Big thank you to Magic Candle Company, and now on to the video. After World War II, the term timeshare was becoming more and more popular in the UK. Vacation home sharing involved 4 families buying the same vacation home and having control of it for one of the 4 seasons. The first U.S. timeshare started in 1974 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Caribbean International Corporation started a 25-year vacation license. CIC would provide hotel rooms for what is commonly called a yearly or maintenance fee now, for 25 years. This concept brought problems, though, because of cancellation policies. But this didn't stop other companies from being interested in the timeshare program, including Disney. In the early 80s, Disney was interested into getting into the timeshare market, but because of the shady business practices of some timeshare businesses, Disney had to be careful of its image and needed a plan to not look like a scam. Disney's timeshare plans were shelved until 1990, when CEO Michael Eisner announced the Disney Decade, a massive announcement of future plans for the company. The timeshare industry had grown to make $490 million in the 1980s, and Florida had become one of the most popular markets, so Disney needed to tap into this industry despite controversy. Executives knew they needed to create a different kind of timeshare, so consumers wouldn't hesitate to buy. Instead of the usual system called the Guaranteed Week, DVC would use a point system, meaning members buy points and can use them to stay at almost any Disney-owned resort. Members simply need to have enough points and rooms need to be available in your booking window. Members are also able to sell the points themselves with official DVC partner rentals. With this system, Disney was able to avoid the negatives of timeshares by validating the system actually works. On November 26, 1990, construction began on the first DVC resort, simply called the Disney Vacation Club Resort. Then in January 1991, DVC released the original mountain logo and in May, filed plans for the first resort. Phase 1 of the Disney Vacation Club Resort would be filed and shared with the public. Interestingly, a building called the Sales Center would be pictured in the plans. This center would be the first of 3 at Walt Disney World. During construction, a DVC Preview Center would open on Disney Vacation Club property. The Preview Center opened on October 7, 1991, and gave guests a preview of the plans and details on memberships and when they could buy. On December 20th, 1991, the Preview Center was renamed the Commodore House. A movie presentation about DVC would be shown, along with refreshments and a dish of ice cream after the tour. Also included in the tour was a visit to Building 16 to see model rooms. September 30th, 1991 was a big day for DVC, since that was the day points went on sale. Along with the points themselves, members also received free admission to Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and MGM Studios until December 31st, 1999. The Disney Vacation Club Resort itself was preparing to open by the end of '91. The name, Conch Flats, was considered to be used for the resort name, but instead it was used in the backstory of the resort. The backstory of the resort taking place in a fictional town called Conch Flats. Disney Vacation Club Resort officially opened on October 1st, 1991, and on December 20th, 1991, the resort opened for members staying with points, and this is what the original point chart looked like until a reallocation in 1996. DVC immediately became popular due to the size of the rooms and flexibility of the points chart. Disney saw the success of DVC and started planning resorts outside of Disney World, including plans for a Newport Beach resort in California. Newport Beach is only 19 miles away from Disneyland, so this idea was a good one. Disney planned to build a 650-unit village across 35 acres. Disney has actually spent $25 million for 35 acres in California, but California locals didn't like the idea of a DVC resort and protested so much that Disney canceled the plans. Another resort planned for Hilton Head Island in South Carolina also got shut down. A plan for 68 oceanfront villas in Palmetto Dunes was planned, but due to locals not liking the idea of tourists coming into the small town, despite the benefits tourism brings, the villas were canceled. Meanwhile, DVC was killing it at Disney World, and in early 1992, plans were presented for Disney Vacation Club West, an unannounced second DVC resort. This unnamed resort would be located south of Epcot Drive, east of World Drive, and west of Epcot. At the same time, Michael Eisner and Frank Wells were busy with building more DVC resorts to give guests more options to stay on property. An interesting plan that Disney had was the area called Disney Boardwalk. This wasn't initially going to have a hotel in it. It was actually supposed to be a quote-unquote real boardwalk with a Ferris wheel and a carousel. This plan was scaled back a bit. A resort was added to the plans and announced in late 1993. Basically, the Disney Vacation Club West idea was combined with the Boardwalk idea, and the Boardwalk villas were constructed and opened with the new resort on July 1st, 1996. Also in 1993, Disney announced plans for a Vero Beach resort. Vero Beach is located 109 miles from the Disney Vacation Club Resort, and unlike other attempts to expand DVC outside of Disney World, Disney's Vero Beach Resort opened on October 1st, 1995. This resort has 211 rooms, 10 buildings, and Disney bought 70 acres of land for the resort. A second phase was planned, but unfortunately canceled in 2001. Now that there are 2 DVC resorts open, Disney Vacation Club Resort was renamed to Old Key West in January 1996 since it was no longer the only one. The idea of expansion to Hilton Head was something Disney really wanted to do. Their wishes were granted and 15 acres were bought by Disney in Hilton Head Island. 123 rooms were built, and instead of the villas in Palmetto Dunes, Disney built the Disney's Beach House, which guests that are staying in the villas are able to use. Disney's Hilton Head Island Resort opened on March 1st, 1996. In 1998, Old Key West was expanding, adding about 34 new units. This addition meant that the Commodore House needed to be demolished to make room for the rooms. The Commodore House was the original DVC sales center until it was closed and demolished. The sales center moved to the Boardwalk Villas. The next DVC expansion were the Wilderness Lodge Villas. The villas had 181 rooms in a 5-story building across a 4-acre site. Construction began in April 1999. Beach Club also would receive a villa expansion. An announcement in May of 2000 stated it will occupy a 6-acre site next to Disney's Beach Club Resort. The Beach Club Villas finally opened on July 1st, 2002. Sales had begun on February 3rd. The new 5-story building would have 208 rooms, and construction started in June 2000. In the same press release for the announcement of the Beach Club Villas, Mariska Elia, a spokeswoman for Disney Vacation Club, put the success of DVC in perspective. She stated that DVC members have doubled to 48,000 families from more than 60 countries. The success kept coming for DVC as the villas at Disney's Wilderness Lodge opened on November 15th, 2000. The villas at Wilderness Lodge would be renamed to Boulder Ridge Villas in January 2001. On July 23, 2001, Disney Vacation Development announced plans for a massive DVC resort at the Eagles Pines Golf Course. This resort was to open spring/summer 2004. The main building of the resort would be a 6-story building with a restaurant, pool, arcade, gym, and check-in area. These plans were quite impressive, but unfortunately due to the massive hit tourism took after the tragic events of September 11th, the villas would be canceled. Around that same time, Disney closed the failing Disney Institute Resort. This short-lived resort had fun activities for guests to do, but it was not successful. Like at all. Disney Institute was located near downtown Disney, and after its closure in 2002, it was decided to turn the resort into a brand new DVC resort. The resort would be called Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa. It is themed to the New York horse racing town. This resort would be fairly big too, with 1,320 rooms on property. Sales for the new resort began on August 4th, 2003. Saratoga Springs opened to the public on May 17, 2004, and the mayor of Saratoga Springs, New York, Michael Lenz, attended the grand opening. Also, the new DVC sales center opened. The next resort to receive a DVC section would be the Animal Kingdom Lodge. Disney first added the DVC villas that opened in July 2007, and then added a whole new DVC building to Animal Kingdom Lodge called Kidani Village 2 years later in 2009. Kidani Village has more than 300 villas in it. The savanna was expanded at the resort and brought more species of animals. Phase 1 of the expansion opened on May 1st, 2009, and the rest of Kidani Village was opened in September 2009. This was quite a statement on how strongly Disney felt about the success of DVC. Obviously, building a 5-story, 46-acre resort and half of it be DVC rooms, you must feel strongly about the program. The success of the Animal Kingdom Lodge villas showed Disney it was time to bring DVC to Disneyland. Grand Californian became the first Disneyland resort to get a DVC villa. The Grand Californian Villas is a 2.5-acre expansion with 71 DVC rooms. The villas opened on September 23, 2009. Meanwhile, Disney World is cooking up a massive announcement regarding 2 new DVC properties. First are the old treehouse villas near Saratoga Springs. Back in the 70s, plans to build apartments and houses were considered but never ended up happening, but the villas did end up opening. In the 80s, they became the Village Resort, and then in the 90s, they became part of the Disney Institute. Of course, the Disney Institute closed to become Saratoga Springs, but the treehouses weren't demolished like most of the Disney Institute villas. Instead, they were left abandoned. Due to the wetlands protection codes, which made the area protected wetlands, meaning Disney couldn't destroy the forest the treehouses were located in. It looked like the treehouses were rot away. But in early 2008, permits were filled to reconstruct new treehouses. Since they were not changing the area in any way, and designers were able to comply with the wetlands regulations, the South Florida Water Management District approved the treehouses and they were rebuilt. The other project being built was a new building in the Contemporary Resort. Contemporary North Wing was demolished in early 2007. It was revealed that a new tower would replace the old wing. The tower was named the Kingdom Tower and would cost Disney $109.6 million to build. The Kingdom Tower would have 15 stories with 428 rooms. Immediately, rumors started saying this was a new DVC resort, and those rumors would be correct. On September 16, 2008, Disney officially announced both the Treehouse Villas at Saratoga Springs and Bay Lake Tower at Contemporary. The new Treehouse Villas opened on June 1, 2009. These became immensely popular with fans of the old villas and guests that liked the unique rooms. Bay Lake Tower opened on August 4, 2009. This tower was an immediate success and praised for its theme park view rooms, primarily for its view of the Magic Kingdom fireworks. Also, the Top of the World Lounge opened with the tower. This lounge is open exclusively to DVC members only and is famous for its fireworks view and the 7-layer cake on the menu. Disney had an ambitious expansion idea: open a resort in Hawaii. Finding land was difficult for Disney. They started looking in the late 1990s but never found anywhere that allowed them to develop the land. In the mid-2000s, they finally found and purchased 21 acres of land. They were granted their permits and announced that Hawaiian Resort would be built. This was great news for some, but many Hawaiians hated the idea. Many felt that their culture and land was being taken away and did not want big companies coming in and commercializing the islands even more. Also, the US economy crashed in 2009, and this caused even more controversy. Disney decided they needed to make the Hawaiian Resort as authentic as possible, so they created an advisory council of Hawaiian elders. This meant every restaurant name, stores, rooms, anything with a name would be authentic. The design of the building, artwork, and light fixtures would all be approved and inspired by the council. Disney also split the rooms between regular rooms and DVC villas. They only had a limited amount of character meet and greets. This mission to appeal to Hawaiian culture proved to work, and in 2010, Disney started selling memberships and announced the name Aulani, which means messenger of a chief. Aulani opened on August 28, 2011 to much praise from critics, tourists, and locals. Its luau is called one of the best by many guests. DVC was going strong and becoming one of Disney's fastest business sales until Black Monday 2011, a day when the stock market crashed, and for the first time in US history, the US was downgraded from AAA to AA. When the stock market crash happened, timeshares were one of the many industries that took financial hits. This didn't stop Disney from adding DVC villas to the Grand Floridian. Coincidence that the first DVC project after the crash was the most expensive resort on property?
I think not!
The new 6-story DVC building would have 867 rooms. The villas at Grand Floridian opened on October 23, 2013. The Grand Floridian villas were also the first to utilize the ability to book reservations online on the DVC website, which was introduced in January 2012. The next resort to receive DVC villas was the Polynesian. This meant that all the Magic Kingdom resorts would now have DVC buildings, besides Fort Wilderness, which has planned to have DVC section multiple times during many different years, but still doesn't have any such building. Disney converted Tokalo, Moorea, and Pago Pago longhouses to DVC, bringing 380 new rooms to DVC. They also opened the largest deluxe studio rooms at Disney World. Not only would Polynesian be getting villas, they would also be building brand new DVC bungalows on the Polynesian beach. 20 bungalows would be built and be able to sleep up to 8 guests. The bungalows included stunning view of the Seven Seas Lagoon and the Magic Kingdom fireworks, plus a private pool. The Polynesian villas and bungalows opened on April 1st, 2015. The next year, another DVC lounge opened in Epcot. Located in the former Imageworks, it is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. In early 2017, fans started noticing a massive amount of land being cleared near Caribbean Beach Resort. Rumors started circulating that Caribbean Beach would receive a new DVC building. When permits were filed, it would suggest that the rumors were true, but one little detail was missed. Caribbean Beach is not a DVC resort, so the new plans were for a whole new resort. In April 2019, the Riviera Resort was announced to the public. This would be the first standalone DVC room in over 8 years and would become the first resort to be built along the Skyliner system. The Riviera Resort is inspired by the European Riviera and Walt Disney's love of the area from his travels there. The Riviera Resort opened on December 16, 2019. It has since become tied for flagship resort with Grand Floridian and has some of the highest rates at Disney World. DVC shows no signs of slowing down with its upcoming plans. Also, with the rise of membership costs, it looks like DVC will continue to succeed and people will continue to join the DVC family. So that is the story of the Disney Vacation Club, from humble beginnings of just one resort to all the way to almost every deluxe resort having some sort of DVC section. I mean, it's just a massive business for Disney every single year. It's created a community of fans, and it's, I mean, as somebody whose family owns DVC points, I absolutely love it because it means I can go, more often. I also like it because I can get into the lounges too, like Top of the World. Great lounge. Love it there. Menu. The menu at Top of the World Lounge is incredible. And the ImageWorks Lounge, as I like to call it, that's great too. So before I end this video, I wanted to say something about home resorts real quick. So my home resort is Animal Kingdom Lodge, Kidani Village. Well, my family's home resort, I should say, is Kidani Village. And home resorts means that's where you buy your contract. So you can have multiple home resorts if you have a lot of money. Some benefits to having a home resort, and everyone has a home resort unless you rent points, means you get to book your vacation 11 months in advance. So before people who have another home resort. So if I want to go to Kidani Village, I get to book in 11 months in advance. But if I want to book at Boardwalk, I have to book 7 months in advance because that's not my home resort. Having a home resort at Disney World, like basically owning some of the resort, it really, really, really connects you with that resort because Animal Kingdom Lodge feels like home. Like, it feels like home whenever I go there. And it's partly because I've stayed there so many times. I love it so much. But it's also because I'm returning to my family's home resort with the DVC points. So it connects you a little bit more with the resort. And I think that's a special thing. Anyway, if you enjoyed this review, let me know by leaving a like. And consider subscribing. It would make me a very happy man. If you own Disney Vacation Club points, let me know down in the comments and let me know your home resort unless you rent. And in that case, let me know which resort you rent points for. Anyway, I will see you all in the next one. Have a magical day, everybody.